Hello everyone, hope you're all having a wonderful day. And today guys, we're going to be going over what I think is one of the biggest issues inside of Diablo 4 right now. Now let's be honest, Diablo is no shortage of issues, kind of like a crazy ex-partner.
Crazy bitch.
But this issue in particular just makes gearing up inside of Diablo 10 times harder than what it needs to be. I'm of course talking about the occultist. This mother trucker is so good at draining people's bank account that Logan Paul even had to ask for some advice.
Game that makes you money. It's so fun.
So why does it seem like I'm kind of having a slight mental breakdown over a little NPC inside of a video game? Well, after patch 1.1.1, there was a little change right down there at the bottom, right down at the very bottom of the patch notes, where Blizzard fixed an issue where continuously enchanting an item could result in having the same stat show repeatedly in subsequent re-rolls. What that basically means is that when you went to the occultist and you re-rolled a stat, sometimes that stat that you were trying to re-roll, you got it again.
Same exact cards last time.
Now, personally, I didn't actually think this was a bug. I kind of thought this was a feature that was already shipped with the game, where you just went to occultist, you would enchant, and sometimes you would want to get the same stat again if you're really trying to min-max your build to endgame. Don't know what you would be doing at endgame, but just in case you're trying to really min-max your build, you could re-roll for the same stat. So maybe you got a really bad roll of critical strike chance on a ring, you could roll for a higher critical strike chance. You could do the same thing with vulnerable damage, critical strike damage, yada yada yada. So I actually thought this was a feature. I thought it was a bloody good feature too. I was like, hey, yeah, you know, sometimes you re-roll the same thing. Sometimes it can be handy, sometimes it's not handy. I just, you know, took that how it was. But no, apparently it was a bug and they did fix it, and I don't think Blizzard themselves or anybody else would really understand the repercussions of this change. At first I was the same. I didn't really think that this would be too much of a big deal. I just thought, hey, look, they're going to be taking away that repetitive chance to keep re-rolling the same affix. Maybe this will be good. Maybe we will start getting more affixes re-rolled and it will just be better for everybody. How wrong I was there. Now, I didn't obviously notice this until I started my Barbarian, because my Rogue had already been min-maxed by the time this patch had gone out, so I wasn't really going to the occultist to do enchanting. Fast forward to me playing my Barbarian and trying to gear it up to hopefully do maybe some build videos before the end of season 1. I am struggling to gear my Barbarian up, mainly in the jewelry department, because now I'll have perfectly rolled rings except for one affix. Mainly I'm missing critical strike chance, arguably the best stat you can get on a ring, and I just can't get it. So here I am, I go over to the occultist and I try my luck, and about 10, 15, 20 mil later, I'm leaving the occultist like a fucking gambling addict that's just lost all his money at Vegas, and guess what I have to show for it? Absolutely no stat that I wanted on my ring. Yay. So of course it doesn't take too long when you're continuously re-rolling for the same affix on a bit of jewelry or a bit of gear. It starts really getting expensive. Now I will show this to you guys now. I'm sure most of you guys know how fucking expensive the occultist can actually be. But here is one of the rings that I managed to roll. I finally got critical strike chance on a very juicy looking ring, but it took me 3.3 mil to get there, which kind of means I re-rolled this ring maybe like 20 times. So I probably dumped 20 mil-ish on this ring just to get critical strike chance. Mind you, it was a pretty decent roll. I'm fucking happy I finally got it. I literally would have taken the lowest roll possible at this point, but hey, we got it. But it was like a 20-30 mil deficit to get there. And I know what you guys are thinking. Hey Aussie, why don't you just go out and re-farm for different rings so you're not spending so much on enchanting? Well, see, that's the thing, and that's also the other issue inside of seasons now, is with jewelry, they have malignant socket. And there's no way to change these malignant sockets. So if you get a friggin' ring that's got the best rolls on it, but you got the wrong malignant socket, that's too bad for you, Sonny Jim. Go out and find another ring. I feel like a good solution for this is when you go to the jeweler, where you could put sockets on other bits of gear and jewelry, make it so you can change the malignant socket or the vampire socket or whatever you're gonna do, because let's be honest, you're probably gonna be rolling with sockets on jewelry for a little while. And it just adds too much RNG. It adds in way too much RNG. I am absolutely just frustrated with getting perfectly rolled rings and they're on the pink malignant heart socket, which is one of the least used ones unless you're maybe a sorcerer. This is definitely another thing that I think needs to be changed as well, because unless you're getting really lucky with your drop, the game just sucks more than it needs to. It just sucks so fucking hard when there's just too much RNG involved. Back to the occultist, I really think they should make this bug, the bug that they had with the occultist, a permanent feature. But to make it a permanent feature to kind of keep both sides happy, because I'm sure there's a lot of people that like having the stat being able to get re-rolled from the occultist, and then there's a lot of people that probably don't want their stats to be the same when they re-roll at the occultist. So the best option for this is to give us more affixes to roll for at the occultist. At the moment we can only re-roll for 2 things, which when you're rolling for 2 things, it sucks when one of them is pretty much always going to be the same fucking thing you rolled from. But if you had 3 or 4 options to choose from, it makes sense to have one of the options maybe re-roll the same affix over and over again, so you can really min-max builds, or just so people can go out and min-max their builds, but also have a whole bunch of other options so people don't just feel frustrated spending so much money at the occultist and getting absolutely no reward from it. Because right now we all know that the itemization inside of Diablo is just absolute trash. It's just a complete dumpster fire. So why go ahead and make enchanting even worse? Because it already feels like a chore to go and try and do new build, level up tunes, and the occultist and the enchanting being so expensive and so tedious just makes all of that process much worse. Now again, I could just be getting really unlucky, but the fact that I have been getting so unlucky is the reason why this video now exists. Because if you're not getting lucky, gearing up inside of Diablo is rough. Just like what the dog said when he sat on the sandpaper, rough. You just don't make enough gold quick enough to compensate for the occultist prices right now. I don't know if they should just cut back cost, or at least try and rework the occultist to give us more affixes. I know in Diablo 3 they had plenty of affixes you could re-roll for on the enchanting table. I didn't even play Diablo 3. I've just seen enough photos to know that yeah, that's how it was. It's like they honestly really want people just to real market trade. They really want people to go over into some shady Discord, go buy a bunch of gold just so they can then maybe enjoy their game. I really hope they do address this, because I feel like it is a pretty big issue. It's a pretty big meme at the moment with inside the community of how expensive the occultist actually is. And also, I'm sure me and a lot of other people are just struggling to gear up, and it's not fun spending 10, 20, 30, 40 mil each week on enchants and then not getting the stats you want. How the fuck does that equal fun? I don't know. Oh, it's basically like work. You're playing Diablo to work. You have to go out and you have to go farm your gold just so you can come home and feed the family. That's enough of my rant. I hope they do kind of address this, because it is kind of trash. I'm curious to know your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below. Are you guys happy with the cultists? Does something need to change? Are you happy with how affixes are rolled or enchanted? But I am keen to hear your guys' thoughts. Appreciate all love and support as always, guys, and until next time, stay safe. Peace out.